Oh, this looks a lot better now that there's not a big dingus in my face.
You know, Jordan always got a big dingus in his face.
Always. Some people call me the Dingle. Instead of Chris
they?
Kringle, it's Jordan Dingle.
Jordan Dingle. Hello and welcome to the 104th installment of the Synapse Misfire Podcast. We're your hosts, Chris and Jordan.
That's us, baby.
That's us.
That's us.
We're here.
We're back. This is the first episode in 2 weeks. That's normal.
Yeah?
Last 2 we were in a spooky place.
Yeah, we're back in the normal spot. We're back, not drunk.
Not drunk.
I don't know what Jordan has been up to before he got here, so I make that assumption.
I'm just letting the crack work its way through my system.
Of course.
Just randomly, I'm just gonna jump up and run at the camera. Just dive right through it. Through the wall. I'm gonna dive through that wall and tunnel my way up to my car.
All right, like a mole.
Like a fucking mole.
I already got a groundhog out in the yard, so maybe you could be buddies with him.
Hell yeah, dude. Dude, you just next weekend, you're like, man, it's pretty nice out. You step outside, sip the coffee, looking on the porch, and you just see a groundhog. You're like, there he is. And then I pop up on the side of him, like, hey, how's it going?
You walk up to the groundhog stands up, and you both convene, and you dap him up.
And I come back, I'm dressed like a fucking furry.
You dap him up, and then you go burrow down into my yard.
But anyway, usual formalities, yeah?
Yeah, usually.
I suppose, right? So, if you want to find us, you can do so on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Radio Public, Spotify, Pocket Cast, and the RSS feed, all listed below. You also have the YouTube comment section to contact us, as well as Instagram and TikTok, and then our email, synapsemisfire@pm.me. That's linked below as well. Send us your comments, questions, concerns, and death threats. And check us out on YouTube for the video-only portion. I recommend you go back, if you haven't already, and watch specifically 103 with the video portion. Or at least have it on standby. Be ready to hop on and look at the video when certain things happen.
Yeah.
We were drunk.
It was a pretty good one, I think. It was good while we were there. And watching it back, it was funny, but completely nonsensical. If you're listening to it because you want to listen to a podcast, you're just popping something on in the car, you're going to hate it. But if you're watching it and you're like, I want to watch three drunk morons just,
It makes a better IRL video than it does a podcast.
Yeah, but I thought it, turned out all right. I feel like it really encapsulated the energy in
our trip.
On our trip. So,
Chris?
Yeah.
Before we get into anything, too serious, speaking of our trip, what's going on? I know you're working on a little thing behind the background because today is episode 104, which means this is our 2-year anniversary.
Yes, 2 years. 2 of them.
That many.
2. Watch this. See that shit?
How the fuck did he do that?
Watch.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
God damn.
Call me the Magic Man.
Yeah, magic fingers, baby.
So, we had mentioned, us doing a little travel vlog, a little video, a little thing.
We do a little traveling.
For our trip, for the 2-year thing. And, I've been working on that. I've just been nose to the grindstone, working.
He almost has a flat face right now.
Dude, I'm like a pug. Pug, flat ass face. I'm going.
Your fucking nostrils are fused together, so you're like...
Yeah, so I've been working on that. It's probably, gonna be a long one.
Yeah, what do you think? I was thinking close to 2 hours, probably hour and a half, somewhere around there.
I was just say I was shooting for 45 minutes. It's probably gonna be an hour.
Yeah, I was gonna say 45 minutes, no fucking way. Yeah,
it's probably an hour or more.
What was it? 200 gigs of footage.
After everything was converted, because keep in mind I have to convert it from MTS to MP4, and then MP4 I have to run it through another codec to get it to MOV. And the file size balloons.
Yeah.
So originally, all MTS files, everything, was just from Jordan's camera, it was 50 gigs of stuff.
Yeah.
And then everything all in all was 70 gigs or something. And then once it was all converted, it was over 200.
Wow.
And we had a gig, I think 2 gigs of just audio.
Yeah.
It's so much audio.
Which is a lot when you're considering that this is literally MP3. These podcast episodes that are roughly an hour are 40 megabytes.
Yeah, we had we had so much fucking audio. So, we recorded a lot more stuff than what is going in.
Yeah, that was the idea, was to record everything and then figure it out after.
And after this, I'll probably have to show you some parts just to see like what you think.
Yeah.
I'm doing sort of a voiceover thing.
Yeah, I liked it when we were talking about it. It's like a monologue, like you're kind of chaptering everything.
Yeah, because it was keeping it. If I want to keep a cohesive structure,
Of like day to day, yeah.
the only way it's gonna be somewhat coherent is if I do a voiceover or something.
Yeah, it'd have to be like a title card or voiceover, and voiceover is more seamless. So
Yeah.
better than just like text on the screen that says the Saturday following.
Yeah, I felt like I could give it more personality and flair, because normally I would do title cards, but title cards only really work if you're gonna do like when we worked on my truck and it
We
was
did
like
chapters.
We did chapters and it was just like one thing.
Yeah.
So it's like us doing spark plugs 1 through 4.
Chapter 1.
Yeah, and it's like that's that makes sense to do it that way. But if I'm trying to explain and give context for what's going on, I can give it more flair and personality if I just do a voiceover.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and it becomes more seamless. So I do like that idea. But so the video seems to be coming out good.
Yeah.
And I'm glad, because I really hope it ends up being a good video. So.
There's a couple of cool edits, a couple of things I put in last minute. Last minute meaning like before I left and did what I did last night. So
Before he killed someone.
Yeah.
That's what he did last night.
That's
Spoiler.
true. I went to Alex's house and I beat him to death with a whiskey bottle.
Yeah, just fucking dunk right across the head.
Right across the cranium.
Just
split that shit wide open.
Alex's head is just like got this nice little flat spot. It's actually indented in the shape of the bottle.
Yeah.
Same exact
It's
diameter.
like Looney Tunes.
Yeah. Yep.
In actuality, thinking of last night, Alex and I and some other friends, we got on Discord. We asked Jordan if he wanted to be there. He said maybe, but I didn't expect him to show up.
Yeah, we had our most expensive grocery shopping trip ever.
How much did you spend?
Almost $300.
Holy fuck, what did you buy?
It was just, there was a lot of stuff to catch up on, like toiletries and stuff that we hadn't bought
Ketchup?
from when we...
That's a lot of ketchup.
Tons of ketchup, dude. Thousands of pounds. Gallons. They were just bringing them in truckloads.
Just big 5-gallon jugs of ketchup.
But, no, we had to catch up on stuff from the trip we took to that secret place.
Because you did a trip and then another trip.
So we had to catch up on some shit. So it came out to like $270 or whatever.
Was that just like a summer thing or like a birthday thing or like an anniversary thing or what?
It was just kind of a thing.
Or you just did it?
It was just kind of a thing. Like, it was like, hey, I have time. We want to do something. We went to New Hampshire again, which I'll talk about that. But we went to New Hampshire again like we did in January, for different reasons, obviously.
That's
and
fair.
it was just kind of like a let's do something in the summer by ourselves rather than like with our family. So
I might head out that way at some point, just on my own, just hang out somewhere else.
yeah, you should. It's kind of annoying when you rent a hotel room for one night and it's $400, but
What the
it's
fuck?
it's still a good time. Yeah,
Where did you stay?
a Holiday Inn,
Just a regular Holiday Inn. It's
regular ass
$400
Holiday Inn.
bucks?
Yeah, 387 after everything.
My dad and I one time, we were in Philadelphia, in the middle of Philadelphia, like downtown. Should look like New York City. It was downtown. We went to a Holiday Inn there, and we asked for the price for a room. And I knew it was going to be bad because the guy we talked to at the desk, he goes, and he writes a number on a little paper and passes it. He folds it up and passes it to us. And he goes, it's going to be that much. And I'm like, oh shit. And it was like $380 or something.
Yeah.
And that was in the middle of Philadelphia.
Why would he fold it and pass it to you? What was the...
Dude, it was weird. I don't know.
Guy was just like, I can't say it. I can't say it. He was like afraid he was going to say it and your dad was going to reach over and kill him.
I mean, my dad's a pretty imposing man, so,
Yeah.
He was afraid we were going to tie him up by the ankles and drag him behind our truck.
Yeah.
Because we brought that. This is a different Ram that my dad had owned, which was even shittier than the last Ram that he owned. So,
Yeah.
it was kind of scary.
You were going to ram him with the ram, dude. He was afraid.
Yeah, so Jordan bought $1,000 million of groceries.
Yeah.
And Alex and I and some other boys, we got on Discord, and all got very drunk. Well, I got very drunk. Alice got a little drunk.
Yeah.
And everyone else got a little drunk. But I got very drunk.
Yeah. Sounds like it would have been an interesting time. How many was there? I know there was you three. There was you, Alice, and the other coworker.
There was like 5 of us.
5 of them. Nice.
So it was, it was fine. It was a good time. A lot of laughs were had. And I was like, when I got to bed, I was like a little worried. I was like, what's gonna happen tomorrow morning? And I was like, you know what? I bounced back real quick. I think it'll be fine. Woke up right before my alarm this morning because I set an alarm for these podcast days because it's like I don't want to sleep in and then have Jordan show up like, hey, I'm here. What the fuck's going on?
I'm just doing a solo podcast and you show up.
I finally wake up and come downstairs and go, oh, Jordan's, you're here? He goes, yeah, I'm done with the podcast already.
Like, actually,
So-
I'm done with the podcast. I traveled to Pennsylvania. I made an IRL video, came back. I went to Alex. I shot him, made a video out of that. So we have like 40 hours of content to upload.
Cool.
You're like,
How long was I out?
like Chris, you were hibernating this December.
I woke up right before my alarm. There's like, I don't know, I woke up like 7:40.
I sent you a precautionary text. I was like, hey.
I woke up and I was like, man, okay, I'm chilling. I'm feeling great. I'm fine.
Yep.
So, I got up and I did my normal things, and then 9:30 rolls around. I'm drinking my coffee, almost done with breakfast. I had taken a shower and everything. And I get a text from Jordan that says, "Are you alive?" That's a weird one. So I said them back, last time I checked, I was.
That would be funny if it was your dad sending it. You're just dead. Your dad's like, last time I checked, I was, but he's not. I killed him. He's dead.
Not. Yeah, it's,
Alcohol poisoning.
it is what it is. But yeah, it was a good time. I had a grand old time. A lot of laughs were had. I absolutely am demolishing this bottle of vodka I bought like not even a week ago.
Damn.
So,
Damn.
yeah, some days you win, some days you develop crippling alcoholism.
Yep. Don't worry, Chris. If you sway into total alcoholism, I'll be there for you.
Thank you. You'll be my AA. You'll be my AA sponsor.
AA sponsor, yep. And you'll be. That's the Nets podcast. You're just gonna have glasses on and be just completely out of it, and I'm just gonna be doing a solo podcast again.
I'll have little glasses on that have eyes on them. They have a picture of my eyes on them.
Eyes.
So I'm like this. So it looks like I'm looking at the camera.
Oh fuck.
And then you just like Weekend at Bernie's me through the podcast.
Yeah.
You're like, so Chris, what have you been up to? That's a good one. So I've been doing this. I've been, playing with my Steam Deck.
Doing this, and then you have your Steam Deck by then I like tape it to your chest. I'm like, hey man, yeah, we
Tape
got our
my hands to it. Just like this.
like, we got our Steam Decks, man. Check it out. We're playing, and yours is just a black screen, like a battery indicator flashing. I'm like, yeah, man, it's a good game. I like that one.
It's all jokes. I do not have a drinking problem. I only binge drink occasionally.
Says the man with the drinking problem.
Believe me, if I had a drinking problem, I'd be very drunk right now. Deal with this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it was all in all, it was a good time. Like I said, it was a good time. What about you, Jordan? What have you done?
So, I have been playing with the Steam Deck, and I did talk about it in 103, 104.
Oh.
Right before we crashed.
Yeah, Jordan's been playing with his Steam Deck. I got my reservation, by the way. I just ordered it on Monday.
Did it ship yet?
Let me check.
I'm curious now if it shipped, because it hasn't been shipping for some reason.
Yeah, I bought it on Monday. I checked yesterday. As of yesterday. As of right now, it hasn't shipped yet.
What the fuck?
Come on, Valve. I was counting on you here. I vouched for you so many times, and you're not even going to ship my Steam Deck? I gave you like $418 for that.
See, that was the difference. So I gave them $680, and they were like, get that shit out the door.
Yeah, see, yeah.
You're a lower class.
Jordan, he's a smaller guy. He had to compensate. He had to get the largest deck available. See, I'm more secure. I got the smallest deck that they had. I don't need to show off or compensate,
Yeah. Makes sense. Yep. I just wanted the nicer carrying case, bitch. But
That's an expensive carrying case upgrade.
no, I know. And the storage, honestly, the storage is definitely a nice thing to have. But I already threw a 1 terabyte SD card in there. Been chilling, dude. Been fucking chilling. But yeah, I got the Steam Deck. I talked about it a little bit on our trip on 103, 104, but I'm not going to go too deep into it right yet. I'm going to talk about the other trip instead. So I did take another trip after ours. Went to New Hampshire. We went to Lincoln, New Hampshire, where Clark's Trading Post is. Went there. That was like the main thing of the trip. I was like, we're going to go to Clark's, man. We're going to see the bears. We're going to see some shit.
Yeah, I've been up that way. They got bears and shit. You go and look, and they're like, oh, fuck, it's a bear. They make them do tricks and shit.
Yeah.
It's kind of, it is interesting, I guess.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's more about like the facts around it and the history and stuff. It's pretty cool to just, kind of see, hang out. So we go to Clark's, and then we were just kind of free women it from there. We were just doing things. So we went to like a mini golf place, which was a really cool golf place. I liked it, but the problem was I was shitting my pants because we had. Well, like, literally, like, my stomach was turning, and I blew their bathroom out. Like, I put a second drain in their toilet with my ass, dude.
Jordan, you have such a bad history with bathrooms.
Dude, I blew their bathroom up, and Lexy was like, oh, you blew their bathroom up. And then 10 minutes later, she's like, we gotta go. We had to run back to the hotel because she was dying.
Jordan blows the bathroom up at work, blows up the bathroom in his apartment, and now at some, helpless mini golf course, he set off a bomb in there. So what had happened was we went to a restaurant, a really nice restaurant, might I say. It's more of like a tavern-y kind of restaurant. So nice it gave you food poisoning?
No, it's more so what I ate. So nice that the food was only slightly raw. No, it's the Rustic River Restaurant, and it was a really nice restaurant. The lady was nice enough to take my FID's ID so I could get an Angry Orchard.
Oh, yeah, because your ID... you
still hasn't arrived.
You went and, renewed it. Well, because your birthday was on a Saturday, right? So you did it like that Monday.
I went July 11th.
And
it is now
July
the
30th, and you still don't have it. I did mine July 6th. Yeah. Because it was a Wednesday. I got mine July 10th, I think. Or wait, no, I got it after our trip, so it was like the 17th.
Yeah.
So it was like 10 days.
Yeah. And I'm going on almost 20.
So I think they saw,
sick.
Well, Jordan,
You're always playing with his deck.
So it's just like, he came in here, he had a Steam Deck. Clearly, he's got something to do. So, we're just not going to give him this. We're just not going to. It's no real reason. It's just I saw that Steam Deck, and I want a Steam Deck. And
really? You never know.
He has one, and I can't. So
you never know. I did bring the Steam Deck. Maybe the lady saw it. She's like, this motherfucker.
It's fun.
I had it right in the counter. When I walked up, I put the case on the counter, filled out all the paperwork. She was probably just looking. She was like...
She was gonna reach over and take it from you. She was over there, Jordan walks up... I'm not going to start the deck thing again. I was going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
Let's save it.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do the deck thing.
We have a whole other thing to talk about with the deck, so maybe we save it for that. But yeah, we went on the trip, went there, shit my pants. The Rustic River restaurant was really good.
Nice.
The food. Had some Alfredo pizza with spinach. Pretty good. It's all right. Had some Gold Fever wings, or what they call Gold Rush wings.
Okay.
And my favorite part was when my dumbass goes, Gold Rush, is that like Gold Fever? So I asked the waitress, I'm like, is this like Gold Fever? And she just kind of looks at me and I go, is it like honey mustard? She goes, yeah, it's like honey mustard with this and that. And I was like, oh, okay. All right, that makes sense. But yeah, we had that food. Had the Angry Orchard, pretty fucking good. Went back to the golf place, blew it up. Went back to the hotel, went to the pool. There was like this motherfucking MILF staring me down, dude. Lexy was like, what the fuck is going on? I go in there with Lexy, and there's like this older woman in a fucking hot tub. And she's literally like, she turns as I come in, and then she literally like gets up, goes to the other side of the hot tub so she can face out towards us, and then was literally just like staring at me.
That's fucking weird, bro.
I mean, I don't get compliments very often, so I was like...
I feel like maybe she was like, man, I can tell that guy over there, he's got the biggest deck that you can buy. And that's my one. That's it. Oh, that was weird. That's weird, though, bro. But, that's fucking bizarre.
So this is going to sound a little weird. And it's not like we have any women in the audience, so they're not going to... I don't have to really say, like, oh, you don't get this. But, like, when you go in a pool and you get, like, the air bubbles initially that, like, go up your swim shorts, and then you get, like, this big balloon dick-looking thing, right?
Yeah.
So when I got out of the pool, what happens is that air bubble, it's like its own ecosystem. It goes... And it vacuum seals your nutsack.
Seals your cock, yeah.
So I got out of the pool. Two things. Getting in the pool, it was cold. So I was like,
You're shriveling up.
she was staring at me. I was like, I don't give a fuck. I grabbed my fucking shit, dude. I grabbed my deck and I just submerged it. Like I held it. I was like, oh, it's so cold, dude. Did not care that she was looking. And then getting out was even worse because it fucking shrink wrapped my dick. So I get out and she's just looking at me with my shrink wrap going on, dude. It just like vacuum sealed to me, and I was just like, let's go, bitch. Looking at me so
Christ.
weird, dude.
Yeah, that's the thing that I've noticed, like, as men, you know, women, like, I guess they get, like, you know, harassed, basically, 'cause dudes are fucking animals. Dudes are animals.
Bunch of scum.
They get, like, you know, compliments and catcalled and shit all the time, but, like, and they don't, you know.
They hate it, mostly.
They hate it, but, like, they don't, you know, it's not out of the ordinary for them. If it happens to, like, a dude, it's weird. It's weird, and I'm like, man, I can see why women fucking hate this.
Yeah. See, I'm kind of the opposite in a way where, like, I have never once had a girl, like, in high school or anything that I dated have been, like, the one to initiate it. So it's never been like, oh, hey, I think you're cute kind of thing. So, like, if some random bitch said that to me, like, at a coffee shop, I'd be like, thanks.
Well,
Obviously,
thank
I'm in a relationship, but I'd be like, oh, thank you. You know? But let's say, on the other hand, like, if someone compliments you, I'm gonna be pissed, and I'm like, nah, I'm gonna be like, let's go, baby.
Shit, I'm gonna
I'm
remember
feeling
this
myself, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
I've never once had someone say that, you know? So, like,
It's like, you know, some days that happens, you get called cute, you get a compliment. Other days you tell a woman you have a Fiesta ST and she doesn't care.
yeah, right, exactly. It's like, it goes both ways, you know?
Yeah, you know.
That same girl leads the conversation with, hey, I think you're cute. You're like, oh, that's nice. You want to hop in the Fiesta? She's like, the what? You're like,
what?
the Fiesta ST.
Yeah,
She's
the
like, I think
Fiesta
you're
ST.
fucking ugly. You're like,
It's like, you know what? You're ugly, your car broke, you're broke, fuck you. She spits in my face.
She fucking quits her job right there on the spot.
Quit. It's like, you know what? I don't even want to check out your fucking groceries or your stuff at Harbor Freight. I'm getting the fuck up out of here, away from you.
Oh, man. But, yeah, no, so, like, that was definitely a weird encounter at the pool.
Yeah, it's fucking bizarre, bro.
A little bit weird, but I was like, I'm chilling, whatever. But then, by far, the best part of the trip, and this was just funny because it took a turn, because I'm not a big height guy. I don't know about you, about, like, being on something high, like high in the air.
Oh, like heights. Yeah. I see.
Yeah.
Because it's you got me confused because you aren't a big height guy.
Yeah, I'm kind of a short height guy, but
Yeah.
I don't like heights that much.
I don't like heights either.
So, we took a tram to the top of a mountain, and I was like, oh man, this is going to be like nerve-wracking. I was like a little bit getting the butterflies. Lexi's like always on roller coasters, no fucking problem. She gets on the tram. She starts shitting her pants, and I'm like, yo, this is sick.
Did you go up the little cable car that takes you up the mountains? Yeah, I've been on that before.
Shit took us up to the top of the mountain, and then we hiked the rest of the way up to an observation tower, roughly 5,000 feet in the air. By far the coolest experience I've ever had, dude. Just like on top of that mountain.
Shit's pretty neat.
Fucking
actually.
wind blowing. You could see upstate New York mountains. You could see Canadian mountains, and what the fuck is it? Maine. You can see Maine as well.
That's pretty
And
cool.
then I want to say you could see towards Massachusetts, but all the New Hampshire mountains were blocking it essentially. So the guy was like, "You look this way, you see Maine. You look that way, you see this." And I'm like, "Whoa, dude." So that was so fucking
Yeah,
sick.
that's pretty neat.
Starts
I've been
raining.
up that way before, but you know I haven't in recent years.
Yeah. Do you know what mountain it was? Like what mountain you had drawn up?
No, last time I was up that way, I was like probably 8.
Yeah. This was I forget what part of New Hampshire it's in, but we drove up. It's very close to, Vermont. That was the other one. It's very close to the border of Vermont. Like literally 5 to 10 minutes away. This was Cannon Mountain. Super fucking nice. So we went up there, did our observation thing. Then on the way down, it started raining. I was like, yo, this is sick. Like, it's pouring. She's like, I'm scared.
I
like,
can
"This is
imagine.
sick."
I imagine she's just fucking pissed.
Yeah.
She's just got her arms folded,
Yeah. She's just fucking mean mugging.
just walking
And
down
then-
this mountain.
And then we finally get to the bottom, and I'm like, man, I need some Dunkin' Donuts. And she just punches me in the side of the head. That's an inside joke to something that happened on the trip. Where Lexy was explaining how she's a moderator for my Dunkin' abuse. So
Yeah, I And then I had made the joke to say, "Hey Jordan, you want to go grab some Dunkin' Donuts?" He goes, "No, I can't." Lexi says no.
And he's like, she's not here. I'm like, yeah, she has my card.
Yeah, she says no. She has my account on the app. If she gets a notification that I bought a coffee, she's gonna kill me.
I'm like, fine, we'll go. I go to like swipe the card, it touches the reader, then a hand just grabs my wrist and just
she's there.
shatters it. And she just
she
pulls
teleported next to you and rips your arm right off.
I'm like, oh man. The lady at the desk, as she leaves, the lady's at the desk, like, you gonna pay for that? I'm like, I can't.
You're just blood shooting out of your arm. She's like, Jesus Christ! And she's like, sorry for the blood thing. I just, I gotta get out of here.
I heard Clorox sports good on it as I walk away. But no, we landed at the tram. One of the things we did, one last thing, was the Flume Gorge, which, again, no idea where the fuck this was, but Flume Gorge, fucking incredible. Walking in between, like, a cavern where, like, I guess lava had flowed at one point and cracked the earth, essentially. So it's just it's a gorge. And it's just, like, water flowing. And you're, like, walking up rickety wooden stairs. Oh, it was so nice. 2-mile hike. And that was just beautiful. I got some cool photos from that. I'll probably just have them, like, flying through the screen as I'm describing all this anyway.
Yeah.
And then we had, the very last thing was we went Polar Caves.
I've been to Polar Caves before, too.
Have you done the lemon squeeze? I would love to see.
Like I said, last time I was up there was a very long time ago, so I don't remember.
So they have a cave called the Lemon Squeeze. It's 14 inches wide. So...
I'm not going to fit through there.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that right now.
So, we did it. Let's see, probably could have fit, but the hardest part isn't necessarily just fitting. It's that you're not just like, oh, I'm squeezing through a 14-inch passage like a God of War loading screen hidden moment or whatever.
Yeah.
It's... You squeeze in 2 feet, 14 inches, and then you have to climb up. You have to scale the side of like a boulder by like wedging yourself in this 14-inch place. So I did it, and Lexi decided to go around. They have a side route called Orange Crush that's just very low.
Come to think of it, I think I might have did that when I was a kid, but my dad went around.
Yeah.
Because because I was a little guy. I was a little monkey boy.
Yeah, that just like boosts you up, and you're like, I'm in.
And my dad was like, I'm fucking old, man. I can't do that.
Yeah, Orange Crush is just the other version of it, where instead of climbing like up, they just make it really low, so you have to like crawl. Hence the name Crush or whatever.
It's pretty neat.
It was really cool though. It was a really cool experience. So, very good trip overall.
Yeah, if I was, that wouldn't bother me necessarily if I could fit through. Cause like I'm not claustrophobic for like space. Like I could be in a confined space, be like, oh, so I'm fine with this. I'm like claustrophobic with people. Like if there's people right on top of me, I get weird.
Is there another like phobia for that? Like instead of being like confined spaces, it's confined crowds.
Maybe. Because I'm like, it's not like I get really scared. I just get pissed off. There's people near me.
Oh, before I forget, I didn't plug in the camera. I need the cable before it dies on us.
Is it in here?
I just had it up. I'm like, oh, it looks like I have one bar because it's literally about to die.
Great. Let me go look.
Hello? I got the Bass Pro hat, brother.
Bass Pro.
Oh. I might be able to make it reach without it anyway. Because we have to daisy chain yours together, right?
Yeah, I seem to remember that.
I might be able to make it reach though. Oh yeah, I can make it reach, I think.
I just say, here's mine. I have it.
I should actually look into buying one of these that's maybe like a foot longer. Be fucking mint. Oh, you know what it said to me the other day? It gave me that message again saying can't record while charging, but it worked, so.
Can't record while charging. Proceeds to record while charging.
Alright. And now, back to your regularly scheduled programming.
I guess, yeah, if that's what you want to call it.
So, yeah, trip was really good. And, also the trip we took, the podcast boys, and let's see, made me really want to take another one. And I wish it wasn't such a financial investment to do so.
I have a couple of things that in mind that wouldn't be a crazy financial investment other than like gas and food.
Yeah.
And like a hotel room.
Right.
But, let's We'll convene. We'll talk about it.
Yeah,
We'll
'cause
get, we'll be trip boys. We'll go on a little like a one night excursion, like just me and Jordan. 2 boys hanging out
Bring
in
in
a
our
hotel
debts.
room alone.
with debts.
Nothing that could go on there.
Big black debts will be involved.
Nothing would go on. Nothing would go on. We wouldn't do anything weird.
We'd just be playing with our debts. Nothing, no big deal.
We would sleep in separate beds. We wouldn't touch each other. We wouldn't cuddle.
We would just play
That would be
debts
weird.
together. But Chris, like maybe like if we do like a LAN party, right? If we get closer together, maybe it'll like run faster.
Yeah, maybe bump our decks together a little. If I get up right up
NFC, NFC. Ever heard of NFC?
right up on you, and I
Deck
just,
to deck.
Our decks are just that much closer together, so it just communicates faster.
Just seems like physics to me. Sounds like a plan.
The amount of homoerotic remarks in all that video footage, it's just immense.
You know what my favorite part about the video footage is? So for a minor spoiler, there's a part where we're mad after something doesn't go our way. Not mad, we're in a bad mood. And Chris was missing some footage from like the outro, so he asked me to look for it. So in the process of looking, I went to the oldest clip on my camera because it was the outro, right? That's where I would have assumed the outro would be. On the newest clip, I mean, like the last one. And I hit play, and it's just Chris going, every time we fucking playing something, it just doesn't fucking go as planned. I just don't fucking get it, dude. We started playing, and it just doesn't fucking go. And I was dying. I was like shitting my pants laughing. Oh, it was so good.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that. I did find those files. I think I told you.
Yeah.
They were on my camera. But yeah, we have footage of pretty much the entire drive up, not that a lot of it is going to be used.
Right.
I used like a handful of clips. Just to like have something going while I narrate, and then having like a couple of different clips.
Right.
But scrolling through footage to find like little bits to put in, there's just always like, Jordan's threatened to fuck someone. I am too. Alex is as well. There's just a point where I'm like scrolling through. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. And I look through. I'm scrolling through, and it's always like, yeah, I'm gonna come up there in that front seat. I'm gonna fuck you, or like we talked about something blasting inside each other or something. We're fucking weird, bro. We're weird individuals. We are strange creatures.
Yeah. Well, in fairness, so the drive up was very like high energy at first, and like we were just trying to like keep the conversation going, and then we start to like mellow out, and then we go to a store, do some shopping, get back in the car, and it's late, and we're just like, yeah, we're driving, it's dark, so it starts to mellow out, and then the drive back is just pretty much me playing with my deck in the back seat.
Yeah, pretty much.
So the drive up was just like a little like but the actual like trip itself was a little bit less chicanery in that department.
Slightly less, yeah.
Still a lot of threatening Alex.
Yeah, there's a lot of death threats and a lot of homoerotic statements made.
Yeah.
So, it is what it is. It is what it is.
It is what it is. But it was a good trip nonetheless. So yeah, I do want to do something eventually.
Yeah, well, before the end of the summer, we'll do like 1 or 2 more. Just quick ones. Like cheap ones.
Quickies, brother. So, Chris, what have you been up to?
Bro, honestly, like in terms of interesting things, fucking nothing.
All right, thanks for coming out to the show today.
So doing like I'm the least interesting person these days. I've just been existing, just doing, nothing really. I don't even go to the store anymore that often. I don't know. At some point I was like, man, I'm sick of eating food, so I just stopped going to the store to buy stuff.
That's good and bad though. That's good. It'll help with weight loss, but you also got to make sure you're still eating.
Well, obviously I'm eating. I'm not missing meals, but like I was like, there's only so many times I could sit and eat Cheez-Its until I want to fucking kill myself.
Yeah.
So,
dude, fuck Cheez-Its. They're like the suicide
I've eaten so
food.
many fucking Cheez-Its. I'm sick of Cheez-Its. I had to get rid of them. Because I'm sick of eating Cheez-Its.
Oh, shit.
That's what I've been on these last few days. It's just like, man, I'm sick of eating Cheez-Its and like peanuts and shit. I'm just done with it,
Right.
So,
no, that makes sense.
I have like a couple of things just so I don't go hungry, but
Yeah.
And obviously, you know, I'm not hurting for food. I'm fine. But
Yeah. It's a cry for help. Get this man some food.
It's a cry for help, yo, man. I'm just not doing too great. No, I'm just eating less, is all.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to go to the store right after we're done with this.
Didn't you buy enough stuff? Didn't you buy enough stuff? You bought $1,000 of food yesterday?
No, it's for, what am I going for? I know I need the one.
He doesn't even fucking know.
The one main thing is I need to get Robert Irvine protein bars. Because the protein bars that our boss and my coworker eat just aren't working for me. They're just like, there's just something about the texture. The taste is all right. The texture, it's just like I'm eating an eraser. It's got like that like gummy, like fuck it. I don't know.
See.
Something's just not right with it. I'm just not vibing with it. So I've been trying to slowly work my way through them. But our boss was like, hey, these are like less natural bars, and he brought me that Robert Irvine one. He was like, they have what you need and they're high calorie, which is good for someone like me who's not trying to lose weight and build muscle, but rather gain weight and build muscle, or like lose fat rather and build muscle. I'm looking to just get both. And he gave them to me. It's like 400 calories. I'm like, perfect, that's sick. And it's a big bar too, so it fills me up. And that shit has everything you could ever dream of, dude. It's like chocolate, peanut butter, wafer, like little crumbs in it. I'm like, oh, yes, dude. And it tastes so much better than the other ones. So.
It's always
and
interesting
way cheaper,
to me
by the way.
how, like, health food, like health bars, protein bars, it's always just like chocolate-covered chocolate on chocolate. Just eat all this sugar, idiot.
Yeah.
It's just weird to me is all.
Yeah.
They don't really market them as weight loss things though, so I guess it makes sense. It's
more for
supposed to
calorie.
be. It's supposed to be high calorie and
it's like caloric
sugar
intake and
for
and
the
protein.
sake of like protein and sugar for like energy, so you don't die.
Yeah. So
because if you don't take in enough sugar, but you have an excess of protein, you don't take in sugar or fat, and you have an excess of protein, your body starts burning protein for nutrients. And apparently that's the most awful condition you can be in. Like, apparently it's that shit fucking sucks.
Yeah, I would think so.
Like, you have literally no energy. You're like, you just, it hurts to move. It's like you have the flu.
Yeah,
almost.
pretty much. Yeah, pretty much that would be essentially what it would be like. But I gotta go to Wally Mart for that. It's way cheaper too. You get like a 6-pack of bars for like $6.50 versus these bars that I've been buying that they get. It's 12 bars for $27 or $26, so it's fucking expensive. And then I need something else there. I don't remember what, but maybe I'll go there and be like, hey, remember that cake I ordered fucking 3 months ago? Where is it, bitches?
Yeah. Did they ever call you about that?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
I'm gonna see like a wanted post when I get there. I'm like, fuck, I gotta go.
Yeah, you know.
It is what it is. Yeah.
It is what it is.
Fucking stupid ass.
Sometimes
Walmart.
you get banned from Walmart.
Yep. Sometimes you do. You do.
That 12 bars for $25 or whatever you just said, that would annoy the shit out of me. What did I buy yesterday? I paid $5 for it and I was pissed off. There was a bag of Smart Food. I bought a bag of Smart Food.
Oh, don't even get me started on Smart Food.
I scanned that and it was like $5. And I was like, $5 for the bag of Smart Food? Bullshit.
Yeah,
I was just like, I'm sick of this. You're breaking my balls here. I'm trying to just eat. So maybe that's also part of it. Is I'm sick of Cheez-Its, and also it's getting very expensive to eat food.
Yeah.
So
might just stop eating.
Honestly, I might just photosynthesize.
Yeah, why not? But and then I have something else to do today, but I'm not gonna talk about that yet because it's gonna tie into something you're gonna bring up in a minute.
Is it?
Lightly, yeah. It's related to something you're doing, or had done, I should say.
Which thing are you?
Just keep going with the notes, baby. Just keep going.
Because I was gonna jump to the very last thing that's on there.
That's fine, yeah. Keep that.
Okay. Because I was talking about how I did a little shopping before.
You did a little trolling, yeah.
Yeah, and I was thinking about the self-checkouts.
I love them.
Because every time I go to the store, there's just always some person at the self-checkout, because they if you scan your item and you put it in your cart,
it's like, whoa.
It's like, whoa. The item has to go in the bagging area. It's got to go in the bagging area because it's a scale. So they make sure you put an item there so they, so that, I don't know, you didn't scan it by accident or you're not stealing something or whatever, right? And every time I'm there, I see someone who is like not doing that. And then all of a sudden, like after, they give you like 2 warnings. It's like, scanned items must be in the bagging area. Put all scanned items in the bagging area. Wait here, contacting help, and they fucking put on like a big red siren on top of the thing, and the fucking goon squad, the Gestapo, comes after you. It's like
A couple of dudes in suits just standing there.
just a fucking a riot squad descends upon your location, and they're like, "What the fuck did you do? What'd you do to piss off the self checkout? What did you do?" It's like I just scanned the fucking. I just
scanned my grapes and put them in my
scanned
cart.
my grapes. I put them in the cart. I don't know what I did wrong. Like the thing keeps yelling at me. It's like that.
I don't know if they at work, man. I'm sick of being yelled at. Fucking sick of me.
But yeah, they give you like, if you do not comply in 15 seconds, like the fucking, like I said, the goon squad comes after you.
Yeah.
It's tough,
It's tough out there. They gotta make sure you're not stealing your Cheez-Its, man.
Dude, they couldn't pay me to eat Cheez-Its right now, okay?
Oh, man.
I have beef with Cheez-Its.
Yeah. Yeah, Cheez-Its. Yeah, I don't know. Have you tried the puffed ones? The Cheez-It puffed or whatever? They're like the ballooned-looking ones.
I don't think so.
I want to try those, but I feel like they're just going to be like Cheez-It, but inflamed with air in the middle. It's just going to be dick.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
Yeah.
I feel like they've instituted too many different types of Cheez-Its.
I like the white cheddar ones. Those are pretty good.
They really took all the burnt ones from their production line and put it in its own box and called it extra toasted.
Yeah.
I see you. They just burn those ones.
Yeah, you just fucked up your production.
Those are all the fuck ups. You were sick of that cutting into your bottom line. So instead of fixing your machine, you sell burnt Cheez-Its. I see you. I'm onto you, bastards.
Yep. And then all the ones that get broken, they sell as breadcrumbs.
Cheez-It crumbs?
Yeah. Actually, Cheez-It, what would it be? Cheez-It breadcrumbs on the chicken is pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Is it? It's like the nightmare fuel food that goes on like TikTok. Dude, have you been scrolling and looked at your For You page and saw like a recipe? And it's like, why the fuck are you putting Cheetos on this? Or like
yeah,
Cheez-Its?
they do that shit all the time.
Or like, you don't need to put fucking hot
Nutella.
Cheetos on this thing, or Nutella, or just anything. It's like, stop putting shit on here. Stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Gordon Ramsay always does those reactions, actually.
My fried chicken was fine as it was. I don't need to cover it in Cheetos or whatever. I'm sick of people using Cheetos and chips for things.
Yeah. I saw someone do that with like Lay's. They took like potato chips, crumpled them, and then like baked it in that. I'm like,
That's stupid. Just like,
you might as well just put breadcrumbs and then salt.
yeah, it's just very performative. Like, what if we did this? They ask, they keep asking, what can we do, rather than asking if they should do that. It says botched quote from Jurassic Park. You get the idea.
Yeah.
But it's just, they just fight, what's in the fucking cabinet today? Oh, what is this? A bunch of sugar? Let's put it on the waffle maker, see what fucking happens. I saw a video of that. It was people, they were taking eggs and sprinkles, like rainbow sprinkles, and they were mixing the eggs with the sprinkles, and then they put these sprinkles on the fucking waffle maker and just left it there for like 10 actual minutes. And they didn't cut any of this. Just 10 actual minutes of this, them rambling about it. Well, this heinous, disgusting black ooze leaks out of the side of this waffle maker. Is the most perplexing thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And then they're like, wow, this is gonna be so good when we open it up. It's gonna look like a rainbow. And they open it up and it's just carbon. It's just black because they just been sitting there burning this sugar for the last 15 fucking minutes. Who comes up with this shit?
I don't fucking know.
Go donate this to a food bank, please. Do something.
Yeah.
Stop doing that.
That's fucking heinous. Yeah, it's kind of like our stocked pantry on our trip.
Yeah, the one sip of water that was there, 2 eggs maybe, an old lime at the back of the fridge.
The eggs were expired.
The eggs were expired. We had this I think there was half and half in there, so I don't know if that was any good. but we didn't drink it.
Probably half expired, half good.
I actually had some bad half and half in my fridge the other day. It was in date, but I grabbed it to go put it in my coffee, and there was something, I felt something move in it.
That rattle, yeah.
And the whole bottom, like, and again, it was in date, and it had been in the fridge, like it's supposed to be. But the bottom, like, half inch had just all curdled, just turned into cheese.
It was open already?
It was already open. There was, like, the last, like, this much was in it. And it's like the very bottom had, like, turned into cheese. And I was like, I poured it into my coffee, and just a solid thing fell into my coffee. And then I shook it, and I felt like something was in there. I was like, oh my God, really? This shit doesn't expire for like 2 months. So I had to throw it out, pour out my coffee, make a new one, open a new cream, verify that it wasn't full of cheese,
cream, yeah.
and then pour another one.
Fucking dairy products, dude.
You know, honestly, I feel like my life is taking a real downward spiral. You know, sometimes I try to do stuff. We try to take trips. It doesn't go well. You know, I try to get things done. It doesn't go well. I don't do anything. And then, you know, I go and pour a coffee, and then my cream is cheese. It's, you know, it's a bad life right now, you know.
Some bad days. Dark days are upon us.
Something like that, yeah. But some good news.
Yeah.
The EVAP code that this is completely off topic. We're moving on. There's no segue required. The EVAP code that I've had on my Fiesta since a month after I bought it, fixed.
Huh?
Yeah. Because it was like the EVAP system, and I knew like you can actually troubleshoot this if you have like a $5,000 scan tool, and you can like activate everything to make sure like you're replacing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
I just took it to someone because I'm not going to buy a $5,000 scan tool, and I'm sure as hell not going to just start throwing parts at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like, because this is after when the code actually showed up. I took it to CarMax, from whom I bought the car. I took it back to them, and their mechanic was like, yeah, everything seems fine. Physically, everything's fine. You know, everything looks great to me. It's just that code's going to come back. I don't know what's going on.
Bad seal, maybe? I don't know.
And then I take it to my trusted mechanic, the guy that's like, he's done a lot of work on like my dad's trucks. He's done some work.
He did the front end rebuild, right?
Yeah, he did the full front end rebuild. He's always been like good to us. He's an honest mechanic. He's a good mechanic. But he calls me after looking at it. He's like, yeah, the EVAP canister, you know, like the thing.
Purge canister.
Yeah, it's a canister. It's got like activated charcoal or something in it to like suck up the gas vapors. It just has a hole in it.
Big asshole.
How do you miss a fucking hole in that thing? It's a hole. Like an entire hole. It's like this big. Well, it's like, you can tell it's like, it's not just a hole like this. It's dented in, but it's like.
Yeah.
You don't notice that?
Yep.
So, it's just, you know, it's foolish. But, it's replaced now.
Yeah.
So it was a whole thing. I had to go get the part. And I was thankful because the purge control valve, the purge valve goes bad a lot on the Fiesta and Fiesta ST.
Mm-hmm.
And he said if it's that, the part's on back order for like 6 months. But it was a canister, so I'm good.
Nice.
I say
Might as well
that
just
now.
order a fucking valve at this point.
I say that now, and like next week, purge valve blows up.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting. So you got it fixed at least.
Yeah.
CarMax is obviously fucking stupid.
Yeah, but I'm not surprised at that.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But I've had this problem consistently for like a long time now. So like, you know, maybe I'll finally do something about it.
Yeah. So it's all fixed. So you got the Fiesta back? Yeah, it was up front. I saw it actually.
Yeah, I have it.
Nice. You're like, my baby, when you finally get back in it.
Yeah, I got back. It was great because otherwise I had been driving the Hummer.
Look at that.
And normally in situations like this, I would take the pickup truck because it's another thing that's stick shift. I actually enjoy driving that truck quite a lot. However, apparently, I don't know if it's at the catalytic converter, the exhaust like just kind of split, so it's super fucking loud right now. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe I don't want to deal with that because it was already kind of loud because there was some holes in the muffler,
Right.
like it had begun like rotting out. But you know, once you're running straight out of the cat, shit gets pretty bad, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, if I'm gonna take this like on the highway, I'm just gonna be. I'm like, I don't feel like doing that. I don't feel like doing that. So you know, I've been driving the Hummer, which kind of sucks. Like I don't really like that truck very much. It's a lot better now that the front end isn't all like.
Yeah.
You know, so it's it's better to drive,
Right.
but it's still not great. I did a weird thing when I was getting on the highway yesterday. You know how like when you get on the highway, you have to get up to like, you know, get up to speed. And in any other vehicle with an automatic transmission, it'll kick down, you know, to get you in the power band to get you going. Well, it does that, but it like has trouble deciding what gear it wants to be in. So like I put my foot down, like, and you have to put all the way down for it to like do anything.
Yeah.
It kicks down. The RPMs go way up. And I'm starting to speed up, and then it just downshifts like down, or it upshifts up to like fourth. I think is a 4-speed. It goes all the way up to fourth, and the truck just like bucks. Like, oh, that's fine. I don't know what the fuck just happened there. So you know, maybe the transmission's gonna blow up. You know, it shit just happens. You know.
Right. Ultimately, actually, you know what's funny is, speaking of like your power band and shit and like loss of power, when we were in New Hampshire, because the altitude was so different, Lexy's car was not working very well at all.
I was just confused.
Yeah. It would hit 40 and then be like, oh, you need me to go faster.
Yeah, not gonna happen.
And it would think on it for like a minute, and then it would be like, all right, we'll go, and then it would start to go.
Yeah.
And the RPMs were just lower overall. It was a fucking pain in the ass.
So the thing with like, I guess that is a very common thing with like naturally aspirated cars, but I guess turbo cars, anything with like forced induction, does a lot better because it's actively building pressure to force air into the.
Yeah, that's what I talked about
intake.
with Giraffe Man, because I talked to him about it or whatever.
Yeah.
And my dad initially, I was talking to them, and Giraffe Man said, like, for example, your Fiesta being turboed would probably be minimal power loss.
Exactly. Like there's a channel I watch which is it's called the main brand channel is the Fast Lane, but they have a bunch of side things. There's TFL Truck, where they test all the new trucks, and they do like drag races and shit, like test how fast, because trucks now are fucking blisteringly fast for no reason.
Yeah.
And they did one, I think it was the new, what was it? I think it was the new Raptor versus like the new like Z71 Silverado or something like that. So the Raptor's a twin turbo V6, and the Silverado's a naturally aspirated V8. And people were saying like, obviously, because they're in I think they're in Denver, they're in Colorado. They're way up in the mountains, essentially, like 10,000 feet of elevation.
Oh, so the Raptor probably fucking killed it.
Yeah, so they're like, well, people in the comments were like, yeah, if you were at sea level or like closer to it, the Silverado would be clearly faster or better. But because you're not, it's struggling to get air, and the twin turbos on the F-150 are just going. You know,
just
they're
full tilt.
just forcing air in there, as intended. You know, that's kind of the idea.
They're doing their job, yeah. But on the topic of cars, and specifically EVAP codes, I had a fucking EVAP code. So I was at Letsy's mom's. We were doing a challenge from the Adventure Challenge book or whatever. Got back, started the car, started to drive off, and I just went, I have a light.
Fuck if I know what that means.
So...
Adventure Challenge book?
Yeah, it's like a book, and it has a bunch of different categories, and you scratch off like a scratch ticket thing, and it gives you a challenge to do.
It's like an advent calendar?
No, well, you could say it is, but there's no like reward behind it, or there's no date to it. It's just like as you want to do things. It's like date night ideas essentially, but Some of them are free, some of them take money, some are long, some are short, some require like a
Right.
babysitter if you have a baby, some don't. Some are
Right.
at home, some are outdoors, certain weather conditions and stuff. So like the one we did was, I think it was called like Learning Silence or something like that, or like Listening Challenge or something like that. It was like something to do with being silent and listening. And what it requires is you have to walk 15 minutes straight with your hands held without actually talking to each other. Then go to basically like a swing set or something, like a ride of some sort. And you take 5-minute intervals of each person talking about what they want to talk about, and the other person can't interrupt or add to it. And they have to just listen to it. So it's more of like a weird thing, but there's other like better ones in there. Like there was one that we did when we first got the book that said to go to an empty parking lot at like sundown, basically, and dance to like your favorite song in the parking lot. So we did like that. So it's just like cool little things like that.
If I'm at a establishment, a business, and I see two fucking people dancing in the parking lot, I'm ramming my car through it. Without question. Like I'm formulating like things to say to respond to this, but I have so many disrespectful things running through my head right now that I can't pick one. I can't pick one.
So
I'm sorry, bro. Like I just like, you know, it's difficult for me to not just be like, man, what the fuck is it? What does this even mean?
That's funny.
It's the sit down and shut the fuck up challenge. That's the thing you do. You walk with your girlfriend and you say nothing. That sounds so uninteresting.
Well, there's better ones in there. That was just one of them. It's about learning to, I guess, listen to each other and not talk over kind of thing.
Oh, man.
It's supposed to be like a, quote-unquote, we'll just say like a team-building exercise, certain ones.
Oh, Christ. That's the worst terminology you could have attached to that.
That was,
Gives me PTSD.
That was probably my least favorite challenge, though, genuinely. Like, there's a lot of other cool ones we've done. Like, there's cooking challenge and stuff. One of my favorite one we did was go to a bookstore, get a cookbook, flip to a random page without looking, take a photo of the first item you see, and then make it. That was pretty cool.
Okay, that one's actually kind of neat. All right.
That one was cool. That was my favorite one so far.
That's, you know, a lot of the disrespect went away. That's a nice one. I like that one.
So there are cool ones like that. This other one was kind of just fucking stupid as shit. But anyway, we get back. I turn on my car. I go to leave, and I'm like, oh, I have a light on. I'm driving. I'm like, it's probably EVAP related because the car's driving fine. I'm like, it's all right.
Yeah.
Kind of doing my thing. And then I'm like, you know what? Let me just view my coolant temperature just to see, because it's one of the metrics my car will track, so I can just make sure it's not something with the radiator. And as I'm driving, my car, I always watch the coolant temperature in the winter and in the summer. In the winter, I do it when I'm warming the car up because I know at around 146 Fahrenheit, I can turn the heat on and it won't be ice cold. And in the summer, I know that if I'm driving long distance, I can make sure I'm not about to overheat. So in the summer, I'm usually at like 201, the highest. I'm like, okay, no big deal. I looked it up. That car is rated for 192 normal, and then 206 is when it hits on low cooling, and then 230 or 220 is when it hits on high cooling. So no big deal. I'm chilling, and I'm driving. Everything's fine, and I get to like near my dad's where I'm gonna get the scan tool to figure out what this code is, and I just like look down at the dash, and my car's at 221.
Nice.
And I'm like, I've never seen it that high. That's really weird. Start driving, it drops a little bit in temperature. Stop at a stoplight, goes back up in temperature. It keeps doing that, and I'm like, this is fucking weird. So I talked to Giraffe Man, my dad, and also my coworker, the other one, the old man. Mm-hmm. And we were all just kind of talking about it a little bit. And the Giraffe Man and my dad gave me kind of the same idea. Like, I knew roughly what was going on, but my other coworker happened to present like a hypothetical that I just kind of went, oh, that makes total fucking sense. So at the end of the day, two things. My temperature sensor is probably a little worn because it's jumping around in temperature reading. But also...
And it's probably, you know, old, too.
It is. And there's also more than likely an issue with the thermostat. Now, initially, the thought was, oh, the thermostat's not opening, it's not cooling down. But when I brought up this, after talking to the Giraffe Man and my dad, I brought it up to the old man at work. And he said, well, I don't think it's that it's not opening. I think it's that it's stuck open. And I was like, well, what makes you say that? And he said, well... When you're idle, your temperature, you said, goes up. But when you're driving, it goes down. That should mean, theoretically, that the radiator alone is not enough to cool down the coolant. So when you're accelerating, forcing air into it, you're actually cooling down the coolant, which is then cooling the engine.
Maybe, yeah.
And the thermostat should be stopping it from leaving the coolant all super fucking hot. So
yeah,
I'm like,
I guess
okay.
that makes sense.
I'm like, so that makes a little bit of sense. Now, the only thing is I'm trying to figure out if there's even any pressure because at the time, there was no pressure in the lines, like, at all. So I'm going to basically today, after the podcast, I already ordered it at AutoZone. I'm going to buy a thermostat and a temp sensor, and then I'm just going to go put it in after we're done with this, so.
Yeah, that's usually pretty easy, right?
It's relatively easy. It's in probably the worst spot ever. You have to open the hood, take off the cap, the engine cap, and then go back right-hand corner down towards the base of the motor, and you have to take it out. And it's covered by a bunch of hoses, so.
Of course.
2 8mm bolts for the for the thermostat housing. Take that out, and then you just pop out the thermostat, throw a new one in. And then on the temperature sensor, it's just like a 12mm wrench. You just unscrew it.
Yeah,
So.
all right, easy enough then.
So it should be hopefully somewhat easy. I might honestly even be slinky enough that I can probably just go under the car to do it. So
Start slinking around.
yeah, I might be able to do it from right under the car. We'll see. I have to kind of see, but yeah, not looking forward to doing that. So EVAP code cleared. It was an EVAP code. So I just tightened my gas cap and cleared it. After talking with Giraffe Man about EVAP codes a little bit and asking his opinion on it, he was saying how essentially if it is gas cap related, it should come back in like a week, and after a fill up and then driving a little bit.
Well,
So.
yeah. In my Suburban, I had an EVAP code, but the thing was like it was very obvious. You could tell that it was the seal on the gas cap. There's like the rubber seal.
Yeah, because when you'd fill up or something, it would go out.
It would. Well, it was just like the seal was very, very, very worn.
Oh yeah.
Like you could tell, it's like, oh, yeah, this is not making good contact. There's cracks and stuff in it, so there's, it's obviously vapors are escaping.
Yeah.
So no matter how much I tightened it, it'll always come back.
Yeah. So I'm probably just gonna buy a new gas cap anyway. They're cheap enough. So.
Yeah, I wouldn't stress out about it.
Yeah. So I don't really care, but yeah, I cleared the code. It hasn't come back. So, and then I don't think I really talked about this. I won't really go into too much detail because we're running on here, but. I did a bunch of work to my car. Don't think I brought it up on the podcast. I did basically the whole front end, similar to what was done to the Hummer. And I did the tie rods as part of that, tie rod ends, and the wheels were out of alignment, as they would be. And I took it in to get aligned, and it was making a shit ton of noise because of this alignment issue. And Town for a Tire was just kind of like, yeah, no, we can't move the nut, so we're not aligning it. So now...
Great.
This Wednesday/Thursday, I'm on a big crunch period right now. Like, I'm stressing about this car at the moment. I gotta fucking do this sensor, make sure it's not overheating. Then I gotta take it for a radiator flush. Then I have parts coming in Tuesday, the jam nuts for my tie rods, so that way I can fix it Wednesday or Thursday night to send it in Friday, because then it's gone Monday to get the bumper fixed. And it could be gone for 2-3 weeks, the guy said, so the fuck. Yeah. And I'm stressing because I thought I was chilling, right? My birthday, July 9th, went for my license July 11th, my appointment to get my car's bumper fixed August 8th, right? All I need is a valid license for that. I just need a valid license because they're going to give me a free rental car. Need a valid license. You know what I don't have almost a month later, Chris? I don't have a fucking valid license.
Bro.
So I might not even be able to get this rental car, and I'm
Man.
going to have to reschedule this whole appointment.
They're fucking you. They're fucking you.
I'm just stressing, dude. I'm stressing. I've been seeing the grays. I've had to decompress with my deck in my hands every night just to cope.
Your alignment was you kind of shirted up a little bit, but you did like your car was like doing a stanky leg.
Yeah, I did a Band-Aid fit, as I like to call it, with my dad. I only did one side because the other side, it took us so long for this first side. I was just like, fuck it. But essentially the symptoms was it makes a ton of noise when I hit 30. It makes like a whoa sound.
Nice.
And the most notable was that I sounded like some asshole trying to, like, fucking in a Mustang, trying to rip it around a corner every time I just took a very calm turn, because one wheel would just slip. And it still does sometimes, like, on the way to the gym, when it's, like, dewy out in the morning, I'll take a left onto the street that my gym's on, and it would just go the whole way around the turn. And I'm like, ah, shit.
Nice.
So it was doing that, but, like, worse, because it would just be like, right up to speed.
Great.
And then every time I would go to the Dunkin' Donuts near our work, it's a very sharp, like, almost hairpin turn, not quite as much, but there's a big wide berth to it, so you can go all the way around, so you don't have to, like, but I would always cut it, and it would do that too, and I'm just like, oh, it pisses me off. That's actually how I figured it out, was because I was like, sounded like my car. Next day. That sounded like my car again. The next day. All right, There's no other cars around. Oh, it did that again. Okay, that's my car.
Great.
So, yeah, it was a bit of a bitch. So, Friday, I'm supposed to get that alignment, but I got to fix these jam nuts. So, I got to take the whole thing apart again. Really not that much, though. You just have to take the tie rod arm out. Then I have to take the tie rod end off. Then I have to somehow unseize these jam nuts. Now, mind you, to do that Band-Aid alignment that I did with my dad, I literally was underneath the car with vice grips, holding the tie rod arm with my feet against the frame of the car, and he was turning the jam nut and dragging me on the cement. He was overpowering my legs and dragging me on the cement trying to do this. So we barely were able to even get an adjustment going, and the whole time it's going as you're turning it, because clearly no one has ever touched this before. So we need to get that off and then clean the shit out of those threads, dunk it in anti-seize, and then put the new nuts on.
Yeah,
and then maybe Town Fair Tire will actually do their job.
If when you say we were gonna do that?
Like Wednesday or Thursday night.
The jam nuts thing, exactly?
Yeah.
Okay, what I would recommend is go get like a can of fucking
PB
what
Blaster.
do they call it? Yeah. And just soak the jam nuts just to like break everything loose.
Yeah, so that's what we did is we did spray it. What I'm thinking we're gonna do this time too to maybe make it a little easier, because the issue is we're spraying the nut, but it seems like it's obviously the inside threads, right? So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna spray the nut like we did, and then coat the threads in it. So that way, as it's working its way off, it's actually forcing it into the threads of the actual nut itself. And then maybe, like you said, from doing that, it's gonna start to break free, and then hopefully we can get it off. But like, dude, it's gonna be like $800 if I have to send this to someone to do. Like, I ain't doing that. I would rather break that tie rod arm and just cut my losses. Like, and just be like, all right, I gotta replace the whole tie rod now. Then send that shit in for $800. Fuck that.
So, yeah, that's the thing. Well, if it's gonna be that much, I wouldn't bother. But like, if something is like, man, maybe it's different because I have a much newer car. But it's like,
right.
Man, this is fucking annoying. I can't do this. And I'm gonna break something if I keep trying. I'll let a professional take care of it. You know?
Well, what I'm afraid of is I've been driving for almost a month now, roughly, probably close to a month, maybe like 3 weeks, with my tires making this noise. So I'm waiting till I take the tires off to do this, and I just have like a flat spot.
Your nice brand new tires.
Oh, and also, fuck Town Fair. You pay them $200 to align and balance and rotate your tires, and they only balance. They didn't align it, and they didn't rotate them. So that was pretty epic. Epic gamer move right there. So I'm gonna go back there. I'm gonna raise hell, dude. When I go in there, I'm gonna fucking slam my fist on the counter and be like, my nuts unseized, my tires not rotated, fits it. That's what I'm gonna say to the guy.
That's fair.
So they do a 90-day warranty though, so I have 90 days to go back, and they do the alignment for free, obviously, because they didn't fucking do it the first time. But my wheels are off by about a degree in opposite directions. So
nice.
It's pretty sick, but I think we got it closer to.
It's good for your tires.
Yeah, so I think we got it close to where it should be. Good news is though, all the work that I did do, the strut, the ball joints, the tie rods, has helped with the front end, made it nice. Suspension's pretty nice, and now I just have 2 bearings for the back that I can't return, that I don't want to do. I have no motivation to do them because the last time I did bearings on a drum, aka Lexy's car, the brakes needed severe adjustment, and they still make noise. So,
nice.
No matter what.
Yeah, I feel like as a society, we've advanced past the need for drum brakes.
I was really considering convincing her to let me do a conversion to disc.
You know, because I got the 4-way disc brakes, and you know, it's easy. And if I have to do something with my brakes,
yeah, the only problem you run into with a modern 4-way disc is electronic e-brake. It's the only problem you run into. Like when I did Letsy's dad's car. I technically cheated when I did his rear disc brakes, because the caliper, it's motorized. You're supposed to take off the cap, loosen, I think it's an Allen key, loosen it, and then thread the motor back in. But he hadn't actually had the parking brake on, so I just had him take it off. And then when you decompress the caliper, it gets stuck at the last like 1/4 inch because that motor. So I just cracked the bleeder and pushed it in, and put the bleeder back on. Fucking cheated it. I was like, there you go, we're good. But I'll take that over having to use a 3-arm puller on Letsy's drums.
Man, the electric parking brake thing is fucking annoying.
Yours is the hand one, right? Still.
Yeah. I think oh man, what was it? Oh, it was the new, because they're making a 6-speed manual Supra now, because people wanted a manual Supra and they didn't plan on making one, but everyone wanted one, so they just.
I'm surprised they wouldn't. That's a nice car too.
They just got it in development and made one. So I was looking at a review on one, and I guess it is manual and it has an electronic parking brake.
That just seems weird to me.
It seems weird.
If I was driving a manual, because so much, rides on that, I would want the confidence of...
Yeah, like I
just...
know this is engaging. I know this is engaging. I can feel it engage.
And if it's not, I can also feel it not engage, so...
Exactly. Like if something's broken, my handle's gone all limp, like I know there's something wrong here.
Right.
As opposed to like, I hope it works. And then that's it.
And you get out and it...
Yeah. So.
But yeah, that's all I got.
I think so. I think that's it.
So, if you want to find the podcast, you can do so on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Radio Public, Spotify Podcast, and the RSS feed, all linked below. As always, we have the video format on YouTube, and actually, I haven't talked about it in a while, but we do have video on Spotify now, so check us out there. If you want video and you want the convenience of not paying for YouTube Premium, there you go. And as always, contact us via email, synapsemisfire@pm.me. Comments, questions, concerns, and death threats, send them over there. Send them to YouTube comment sections. YouTube might shadow ban you, but it's fine. Just try it. Send us death threats. And Instagram and TikTok, find us there as well. All linked below.
Nice.
And stay tuned for the camping video, or it's not even camping, the adventure video. Fucking travel video.
It was a good time.
Real good time. And in between episodes, to take a break, I'm probably going to check it out. So, fuck you.